Good afternoon. I want to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what Chris Magezi, yes, Chris Magezi, the UPDF and Defense Public Information Officer, spoke about the situation that happened in Gulu on the 6th of December this year, which is last week. Magezi came up live on his TikTok page about the wielding of sticks and the beating of citizens in Gulu city by the security forces, the Uganda People's Defense Force, the Uganda Police Force, the prison force, and people who were in plain clothes, assumed to be security officers. Now, Magezi said beating is not a problem because it does not kill. He says that it is non-lethal. He said that it is proportionate. I really wonder where these people are from, whether they're from a different planet or not. We all know very well that this very government of the NRM banned beating of children in schools. Corporal punishment has been banned in schools. And now here we see Magezi justifying the beating of citizens in Gulu on the 6th as proportionate. Proportionate to what, for God's sake? What is it proportionate to? What did these citizens do that warrant the proportion that he's talking about? What is Mr. Magezi suggesting? That beating is good for the elderly people or for the citizens of this country because it's proportional to something which he has not even mentioned what it is? Those sticks-wielding people, those stick-wielding police officers and UPDF soldiers and security personnel, does not indicate anything but a big shame on this government of the NRM. What explanation is Magezi giving to us that is proportionate to the beating of people in Gulu city on the 6th? What exactly is the beating proportionate to? A 12-year-old boy have died in Gulu city as a result of the injuries inflicted on him by those stick-wielding security officers. Is that proportionate, Mr. Magezi? Is the death of this child proportionate to the wielding of the sticks? Was there anything proportionate in the campaign route or in the campaign trail that actually is proportional to them holding sticks in their hand against citizens who are armless, citizens who were only following their presidential candidate, which is their constitutional right and their human right, citizens who are expressing their freedom of speech in what we term as an election process? So the UPDF and the police forces must understand that they have a role. In fact, the place of the UPDF is the barracks. They are supposed to defend this nation against external enemies or enemies inside who are causing chaos to the security of the state and the governance of the country. The citizens in Gulu who were beaten on the 6th were not causing any threat to this nation. They were simply following their presidential candidate, who is on his campaign trail. And so here we see Chris Magezi justifying that the beating was normal because it does not kill. The beating was proportionate because it is not lethal. Magezi, you need to rethink. Maybe if we could beat your children, beat your wife, beat your mother, beat your father, beat your relatives, and ask them how they feel about the beating. Maybe your children can explain what the proportion is. Because you don't seem to understand that these people who have been the children of people, like you have your own children, perhaps we should actually exercise this proportion on your children. And then we ask them how they feel about their being beaten. Perhaps we should exercise them on some of your closest relatives. So that then we ask them how proportionate is the beating. Is it equivalent to what they did if they have done anything at all? I don't know how this government would come to a conclusion and blatantly, without fear, without shame, come and defend something which is undefendable. We are humiliated in Gulu City. We are abused by the forces who are supposed to protect us in Gulu City. Our children has been tortured. A 12-year-old child have died. There is a grieving mother and a grieving father, a grieving parent. And here Magezi comes and tells us it is normal, it is proportionate. Proportionate to what? What is the beating of the citizens in Gulu proportionate to, Magezi? I think it is time that this government begin to think seriously about the use of lethal force on the citizens of this country. God is looking at us. God is looking at you. God is looking at all the forces, the security forces, the UPDF, the police force, the spokesperson for the UPDF, Public Defense Information. God is looking at you. God is hearing you. And I think it is time that the legislators of this country wake up to correct this unfortunate event that is happening during this campaign. If we can now be tortured, be intimidated, if people can be beaten up like this before even the day of the election, what's going to happen next week, the beginning week of January? Are we going to see this kind of thing happening everywhere in this country? It is time that we stand up against such things. It is time this government know that the citizens that they are torturing, the people that they are beaten in Gulu, whether to intimidate people not to come to the opposition parties, whether it is their way of enticing and causing fear in people so that they can vote NRM. I feel so sorry for you guys. Just know that God will account for those that you have beaten, for those that you have tortured, for the child that have died. Vengeance is of the Lord. And time will come, and it will come indeed, when we have to provide accountability and take whatever will come for the responsibility that we have failed to provide in protecting the citizens of Uganda and in violating their freedom of speech, their freedom of gathering, in violating their human rights. I speak from a burdened heart, from a burning heart, a heart of anger because of what is happening. We want to respect our soldiers. We want to respect our police. The police are supposed to serve and protect the very citizens that they are beating. And so is the army. They're supposed to defend this nation, to protect us, and not to be beating us like bulls, like animals, like chicken. What happened in Gulu was a big shame. And those who were involved, from the citizens in Gulu, the likes of Alain Fatuma and her hooligans, and we see that the police are still saying they're investigating. Investigation is not enough. We have seen people who have come live on social media. They have posted inciting words which bring violence and have led themselves to do what they did in Gulu on the 6th. And they're out there, not even apprehended. God help our country. For God and my country.